I'm going to apologize for the signal already. Oh my God, there I go. I'm freezing up again. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I'm turning off other things on this old rickety computer. This computer I've been using, which runs on coal. It is so old. Hopefully everything's going to be fine. We're going to have a great show tonight. Great guest, great subject, all the things you love on this show. Let's get started.
Fair use, having fun, you know. Giving comments and reviews, and it's covered by fair use. Fair use, fair use, having fun.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, my Hepcats. Welcome, all my dear friends fighting this computer. There we go. There we go. Good Raphael's with us. Hello, Raphael. And also we have Chris with us already. Hello, Chris. So nice to see you. Not the only Chris who will be on the show tonight, adding to the laughter and the glee as we go through this evening. You know, I don't do this show alone, Retro Rangers. Oh, no. I may be Captain, but I'm not the guy who really gets things done here. The guy who really gets things done around here is the Commander, First Officer himself, the head of the science fiction department. It is Commander Joe Townsell. How are you, Joe?
Captain John, I'm doing wonderfully. You know, I'm a little disillusioned and my bubble has been burst. I thought you were doing like a great rendition of the robot. You blamed the computer difficulties. So I thought I was seeing just new talents here, but that's okay.
My connection is so terrible. I may actually try to, I can't run a cord. See, the
oh my goodness, poor John. Well, John, if you, I think you can hear me.
I do this whole thing on Wi-Fi, and one of the big rules.
Well, John, I'll continue. If you want to try to get a hard connection, if you put Chris, our special guest on, you haven't identified him yet, Mr. Regan, of course. If you want to put him on, the two of us can try to keep things rolling until you can get a connection in there. You might serve you better. What do you think?
It might take me at the tops like 4 minutes, and that would be at the tops. So here, I'm going to let you guys slug it out.
Okay, so we're gonna fill 5 while John gets a cord.
I think we're gonna do that. I think overall it'd be the best. So, Chris, please. I mean, you know me. I'm just the humble co-host. John would dispute that, but let's start by just having you tell everybody what's all about Chris. I mean, you got some wonderful, notable work under your belt, and more to come, I'm sure. So, what's happening with you?
Oh, no more to come. I'm approaching the end of this career. You kidding me? No, I went to college with John Weber. He was a couple of years younger than me, older than me. I'm sorry. Let's make that clear. He was a couple of years older than me.
Yes,
but yeah, I'm a television writer. I wrote for The Daily Show for a long time in New York, and I've been a writer on Family Guy for the past dozen years or so. And I really enjoy your show, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be on it.
Well, happy to have you as always, and it's always a thrill because with you, of course, you're so knowledgeable of the many genres, especially tonight. I mean, I've been looking so forward this week to delving into a little bit of 60s sci-fi with Irwin Allen, and I understand that was a suggestion or question you made of John, and I'm all for it. So looking forward to seeing what he came up with.
I had immediately suggested Lost in Space because I had done, weirdly, you know how the YouTube algorithm throws stuff at you, but I saw an interview with Jonathan Harris, who played Dr. Smith.
Right.
And it kept showing me different clips of Jonathan Harris speaking. And I'm like, oh, this is a very funny, engaging guy. And I remember how much I loved the show when I was young. And, you know, I had mentioned that, but John threw it back at me about what we're going to watch today. I don't want to leap in any sort of introduction or anything, but I remember the episode that we watched. I remember watching it as a kid. I mean, this show was on before, I think it was probably canceled before I was born. I'm not quite sure, or it might have been on at the same time. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch this stuff. I mean, I knew Irwin Allen initially from his disaster movies, and you know he produced the Poseidon Adventure, which was the first grown-up movie I ever saw in a theater.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I mean, I've already spoken to John, you know, backstage, and I'm sure at some point we'll be delving into Irwin Allen of the 70s, which of course would be his Master of Disaster era. So I hope you come back for that.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I should specify Poseidon Adventure was in a drive-in. It wasn't in a theater.
Oh, you must have been terrified. You thought the ocean was rolling over you.
No, I was in the front seat, wedged between my dad and my brother.
Okay.
And I think my mom and my sister got the back seat. And why this was considered more comfortable than going to a movie theater, I'll never know. But we kind of jumped ahead of ourselves a bit, John. We were talking about Irwin Allen's 1970s stuff, but we will leave the introduction up to you now that you have a wire.
I heard, and I hope the connection's a little bit better now. I have a new computer. It is in the next room. I still haven't figured out how to get this old rickety rust bucket, this cantankerous, clattering, clunky. I haven't, speaking of Jonathan Smith, Jonathan Harris.
Jonathan Harris.
As Dr. Smith, who quickly took the show over. You see a third season of Lost in Space, and basically everyone's standing in the background kind of waiting to deliver their one line while Dr. Smith and the robot are doing some kind of goonery in the front of everything. So
and the great thing is that Jonathan Harris as Dr. Smith and Bill Mummy as well. I mean, they never skipped a beat, even when they were talking to giant carrot men. I mean,
now, apparently, Raphael did, of course, correctly name you as one of the Ithaca mob.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that. Also, Raphael says he watched the premiere broadcast, and so did Chris Rollbach as well.
Wow. In black and white, right?
Yeah, I believe.
Oh yeah, the whole first season was black and white.
Yeah.
Oh. 10 dudes in the back of a pickup. I guess that's watching Poseidon Adventure.
No, they were watching Lost in Space in the back of the pickup.
Now, if I remember correctly, first off, there's a lot to handle here with Irwin Allen. I mean, there's maybe 3 or 4 shows worth here. I had a problem with Land of the Lost, Chris, and I'll get granular with you. This was my problem. I have in my head that Land of the Lost and Star Trek were basically running at the same time.
No, Land of the Lost, Marshall, Will, and Holly, that Saturday morning show.
I think you mean Lost in Space, John.
I mean Lost in Space. Please forgive me.
I think
much
so. If not, maybe Lost in Space kind of jumped in, because what was Star Trek, 64 to 67?
I'll give you both the dates. Lost in Space, 65 to 68. Star Trek, 66 to 69.
There you go.
That's why there was never any black and white Star Trek, because basically all TV went to color in 66.
Yes. Good point. Very good point. And the initial version of Lost in Space was called Space Family Robinson.
Yes.
I
No
love
Dr.
this.
Smith. In that
I
first
love this
pilot.
question. DJB, no, there's we must not start over because it's been nothing but kerfuffles and really yeah, no, it's best if we just take it from here.
No, I mean basically on DJB, I agree with John. We were doing some tech difficulties, and all you missed was me flummoxing without John by myself with Chris.
You're a great host, Townsend. My God, there are so many times when I'm not able to host and you're hosting for me, and all I do is technical director. I learned how to do it. That's my Ithaca College education right there. And I'm actually a lot better at it than I thought I was. So at least we got that going for each other. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to talk about with oh, that's funny. Thank you for texting Diana John Atkinson to remind her to come to the show. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think Lost in Space for me is it's a lot. It's so much to handle, but I also always think of it as like, how did that, because that goonery, as Mr. Regan mentioned, how did that fit next to the much more serious, much more humanity-based Star Trek? The fact that they were running at the same time, and I think it hurt Star Trek, honestly.
Maybe. I mean, I think in an effort to kind of get in on the fun of the space race, as long as there was some space element in it, they gave you some variety. If you looked at space as something kind of serious, you had Star Trek. If you looked at space as a foppish doctor in a turtleneck saying mean things to a robot, like there was space for you as well.
I'm, because we're on the subject, I'm going to see if I can find. I collected a bunch of clips and got them all okayed. So we can actually choose our own adventure if you like.
Ooh, wonderful.
I have some disaster movie stuff. I have some 60s bad sci-fi stuff. And I have a lot of pieces of interviews with Jonathan Harris and also with Bill Mumy. And so we can go whichever direction y'all want to go in.
Well, I mean, here and there, as far as I'm concerned. And
yeah,
one thing I'll add to what you're saying, John, real quick, is that let's not forget that Lost in Space was intended initially as a more or less serious effort. I mean, Zachary Smith was a would-be attempted murderer.
Yes,
he was there to kill them all, and they played it pretty straight the first black and white season. Only got more campy with year 2, and maybe that was in response to Trek being a little bit more serious. Who knows?
Could be. I mean, as I remember those days, reading about those days, and Mr. Regan, feel free to jump in because I think you've studied the same things I've studied. I feel like there was a parents and child demographic that they would go for, and that's why you had shows like The Munsters. Very sort of obvious comedy, and I feel like that's what Irwin Allen was trying to do with Lost in Space, I think, to keep it on the air because it was a very expensive show.
So then would Addams Family be the Star Trek to the Munsters Lost in Space?
I mean, that's how I would go, because I think of Chris Adams' work as preceding the Addams Family, just as James Thurber's work preceded My World and Welcome to It.
Well, I mean, there was a certain chill to the Addams Family. They didn't seem particularly that interested in their children, whereas in the Munsters, there was a lot of pep talks for Eddie, and there was a real connection. The Addams Family is just like Gomez and Morticia were really horny for each other, and there are these other people happen to live in the house.
That's so true.
And Gomez was a lawyer, right?
Oh, see now.
Like you never saw him handling any cases or anything, but he was just because I heard someone on a podcast recently, some kid who had never seen the Addams Family, he just didn't understand it. Yeah. And he was raising some questions I think were very valid questions. Like, well, they're not monsters, right? I'm like, well, Yeah, not really. I mean, Lurch seems to have something wrong with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
there's
there was a thing, of course, you know.
yeah, there's a disembodied hand, but just kind of eccentric people who were sort of goth, but
Interesting.
not necessarily paranormal. And when you realize that, and by the way, we're totally off our topic now, but when you realize that, like, you know, Gomez attended law school and passed the bar and stuff like that, but didn't seem to work. He would, you know, keep an eye on his stock ticker. So he was independently wealthy. But yeah, there's a certain icy coldness to the Addams family that you didn't have the Munsters. So I think that's probably a good parallel to draw, if I do say so, between Star Trek and All in the Family.
I think there
I'm
was...
sorry, Lost in Space.
That's a great reach there. I like that. Bill Mummy played Meathead.
Well, see, now, DJB, I don't know. I mean, Cousin It, we don't know about Under That Hair.
I mean, he was a cousin. So you can't just label somebody a cousin. Oh, Addams Family loved their family. Yeah, well, but they weren't as gushy as the Munsters.
The Munsters were a lot more Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
Which makes sense since it was the same creators.
I'll bet Pugsley brought up some stuff in therapy later about his parents being way too affectionate in front of him, for one thing.
Have any of you folks watched Wednesday on Netflix?
Oh, I've seen the Wednesday Dance about 100 times.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I realized this is kind of a teenager show.
Yeah.
It wasn't really for guys like me.
Not so much. I end up having to watch those shows because I'm surrounded by gals.
Yeah.
And they don't reject that stuff outright the way I try to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not surrounded by gals. What's my excuse?
But honestly, I liked it quite a bit because I like the lead. Oh gosh, who's that gal? She's really
Jenna Ortega.
Oh, she's great. I really enjoy her. So that worked for me. And the girl who plays her friend, which I'm currently watching in The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Oh, please kill me.
That must
we're
be
almost
Cal TV for you.
Yeah, we're almost done, and that is thrilling to me.
Well, Chris, since we went in this direction, I'll just add one little tidbit, as it were. But did either of you gentlemen ever check out? They did an unsold pilot, NBC, where they tried to make the Munsters a little bit more Addams Family like, less monstrous.
When?
And it was called Mockingbird Lane.
Yeah,
and it had like Jerry O'Connell and couple of others at the time. It was strange.
Wasn't like Eddie Izzard in it too?
Yeah, Eddie Izzard plays grandpa.
Okay.
And he's like a killer. He's like eating people. He's
okay.
Which, you know, I see that in the preview and I go, well, that's why Eddie Izzard said yes. Because
I don't mean to dead name Eddie Izzard, but I don't know what her new name is.
Susie?
Sure.
I was just thinking the same thing, like, oh God, I'm dead naming.
Oops.
Honestly, I think of Eddie Izzard as being so non-binary. I'm still trying to catch up to that.
For the purposes of our discussion, they will be referred to as Les Izzard.
There you go. I think is bon. All right,
everyone's signing off. Enough of these people
rage quitting. Because you know us, we're just too masculine. Too much bro energy on this.
Oh, speak for yourself, Captain.
I think that works. I mean, but ultimately, yes, I agree, DJB. As long as the please don't start rim shotting Regan because you'll never stop. The man's a laugh machine. You'll never stop. Chris did see Mockingbird Lane because I think they played it as a special when it was clear it wasn't going to get picked up.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a little grim. It was like, does everybody remember when they tried to bring back Fantasy Island?
Oh
yes.
Yeah,
but I think twice, right? They once with Malcolm McDowell.
Yes,
and was there another time after that?
There was a feature film actually, not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
And that was when they're just evil.
And but Fantasy Island started out kind of dark, like the one with Ricardo Montalban. You kind of got the impression that maybe Mr. Rourke was kind of an agent of chaos somehow, who was going to sort of show these people, kind of give them what they deserved.
Right.
Kind of like the Rod Serling. Oh, you want something? Well, here's your punishment. You're going to get it. You're not going to like it.
I think we also meet in the course of the show a hellish version of Mr. Rourke, which means Mr. Rourke is actually a very cruel agent of order.
Or just a mean angel.
Or chaotic neutral. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons works here too.
All I know is that Fantasy Island jumped the shark for me when they guest starred William Shatner and he goes, Rourke! Okay, enough of that.
All right, so let's take a look at some clips. And again, we can go in any direction you want.
I think we already have.
Seriously, it's just keeping in with everything else we're doing. Already I can see queued up is not the thing I was trying to get. Okay, so first let's look at this clip. It's called Irwin Allen, the Master of Disaster.
Oh my. These shows have the greatest theme songs. Hey, it's Thanksgiving,
really
giant
did.
turkey.
Land of the Giants, was it ever good?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah, it's so terrible. What a terrible idea. So I guess this might be from the DVD set. That, of course, was the Flying Sub.
I didn't know the Creature of Black Lagoon is that strong.
Well, the Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea got weirder, right?
It did. It got very weird. Like there were no limits to what was on it. And then Time Tunnel was the one I didn't watch a lot of.
It was never really available where I grew up.
I don't ever remember seeing it in syndication.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Okay. So what the devil?
But was that with Gary Collins?
It's the Irwin Allen
James
Show
Darren?
with guest Ernest.
Ernest Borgnine and a disco ball.
Okay.
What more than a happier marriage?
Let me explain this. So I thought it would be great to sum up Irwin Allen if we watched a skit from, and I'm saying skit when I do mean sketch. If we watched a sketch from SCTV. And so that's what this is. This is called the Irwin Allen Show. Kind of
Live from Hollywood, the earthquake capital of the world, it's the Irwin Allen Show with guest Ernest Borgnine, O.J. Simpson, Shelley Winters, Charlton Heston, Red Buttons, and also on tonight's show, Paul Newman, Robert Wagner, George Kennedy, Lauren Green, and Callie Savalas. And now, here's your host, Irwin Allen.
Yep. Already too cool to be Irwin Allen.
We'll assume that's what Irwin Allen looked like.
Well, welcome to the show. We've got a terrific one for you tonight. I want to bring out our first guest, lovely starlet and a good friend of mine. Would you welcome Shelley Winters?
Oh my goodness.
Shelley, you look terrific.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel good. I really do. It must be my new diet.
A new diet. Well, let's talk about that a little later. First, let's talk about that new play you're doing in New York City. Bob Wagner, ladies and gentlemen. Bob's got to leave a little early. He's busy rehearsing on a new film he's doing, being directed by Orson Welles. Shelley, what's the name of that picture?
It's called Who's Eating the Great Chefs of Europe.
Now, you're in that film, aren't you, dear?
Yes, I am. But right now we're negotiating meal allowance.
I see.
Robin Duke, yes.
Goodness.
Who's alive back there? We need another guest. Who you got?
Red Buttons.
Red Buttons. How did he get out of that? Well, let's bring him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Red Buttons.
Things are happening back there. That's the closest I ever came to getting a roast in this business. And Johnny Carson never put up with that kind of stuff. And Jack Paw never got.
Oh, not the bees.
Oh, God.
Charlton Heston's here. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlton Heston.
Oh, Joe Flaherty's Charlton Heston. Oh, it's so good.
Charlton Heston.
Was that Red Buttons I saw out there?
Yes, it was Red Buttons. He deserved that, boy. That's what you get for wearing too much makeup. Nothing bees like more than a good number 9 pancake, if you know what I mean. Hey, Charlton, tell us about this book you've brought on. You're going to do a reading for us or something?
Yes, it's from my latest book, which is a journal I was keeping while filming El Cid in Spain.
Uh-oh.
It was a remarkable film, actually.
Earthquake time.
Irwin, you did it this time. This time you really did it. Damn you! Damn you! Damn you!
This is very ambitious for SCTV.
Yeah.
Guest of the Irwin Allen Show.
Oh my God, that's really ambitious there.
I
think Larry here, he's it's the quality of impression over lack of resemblance. Which I missed.
Oh my God. Oh my God, and that's just the closing credits. Oh God, that's so good.
That's probably last season SCTV, right?
It looks like
if we're Robin Duking and Tony Rosatoing.
Yeah, yeah. It could be the last season of the syndicated show. And then they went on to Saturday
NBC,
Night Live.
right? Yeah.
Because I don't think it's like the late seasons of when they moved exclusively to Cinemax. Do you remember that? In the 80s?
Yeah. Wow.
I think there was a lot more Martin Short on that one.
1984.
Oh, 84.
Okay. I know my Roman numerals.
There you go. Very impressive, Chris.
Good stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at the Poseidon adventure, shall we?
Why not?
All right, here we go.
Which bore 2 horrible remakes.
Please, no one sing "It's Got to Be the Morning After." We don't want to get thrown off the air.
Oh, yes, got to keep that in mind. It's not the lyrics, it's the melody, so I won't even try to parodize it.
One of the great comedy actors of my lifetime, Leslie Nielsen.
Yes. And who just didn't have a big crush on Stella Stevens there?
Oh, come on. Stella Stevens.
Little May, September between her and Borgnine.
Just a touch.
Hey, wasn't for May, September, she would never be in movies. There you go, folks.
Surely there isn't a paddle wave tipping the boat over. Yes, there is, and don't call me Shirley.
My parents took me to this when I was 5.
Well, it was a huge movie. I mean, honestly, yes, it was bad, but I'm telling you, as a kid who was maybe 8 at the time, I really wanted to see it.
Well, Johnny, you know, it's bad in a way, but it could be worse. It could be beyond the Poseidon adventure.
Right.
Now that's bad.
Right. They topped themselves later, or is it bottomed?
Interesting choice of words there.
Nobody try to work off that joke. Just let it lie and die.
By the way, in the striking while the iron is hot arena, Family Guy did a parody of this 3 years ago.
It's a classic.
Well, some things are timeless for parody, you know, and this is one of them.
The family was on a yacht rock cruise, and the ship capsized.
A yacht rock cruise. Come on, that's pretty good.
Well, I always love the Mad Magazine takeoff called the Poop Side Down commercial or adventure. And at the end, they say, "Oh, Morse code." And what are they saying? And tap, 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 tap. It spells out, "Hey, guys, your ship is upside down."
It is a feast of practical stunts, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
You know, that's something we can really appreciate nowadays in movies. The danger. Oh, hello.
Oh, well,
And
I think that was like the teenage sister, wasn't it?
Gene Hackman is a man of the cloth in this, right? He's some sort
Yes,
of
he is,
reverend.
but he's a rebellious one.
Ah,
yeah, he's always butting heads with the old guy.
You know what's amazing? If this were made today, would there be this many old people in it?
No.
No. Everyone save 2 is over 40, I think.
If I can prevail upon you, Mr. Regan, to go on another tangent with me, have you seen the commercials for the Saturday Night Live movie?
Yes.
Now, here's my issue. And I know I'm an old man and everyone can make fun of me for it. Please, I open myself to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I watch that and I go, wait, that guy looks like the other guy. Wait, and that guy looks like the other guy. All the guys look exactly the same.
Yeah.
There are the name actors.
Mm-hmm.
They're in there, of course. So, you know, you've got Willem Dafoe is in there playing a great part. And you got these other, you know, good older character actors. But all of the young people, I'm like, why am I looking at Dan Aykroyd again? Oh, no, that's supposed to be Chevy Chase. But if that's Chevy Chase, then what does Belushi look like? That's Belushi? Like,
you can only identify them by their elaborate wigs. You see movies like that, and you're just like, "There's another wig."
So, if anybody's in the mood for it, we do have the AMC backstory. It's 10 minutes long of Poseidon Adventure, or we could go on to the Towering Inferno trailer. How are you folks feeling?
Oh, I mean, I love it all, but I mean, we're kind of in the disaster mode right now. As far as seeing the disaster, maybe we can you come back to this after the Towering Inferno?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, unquestionably.
What do you think? What do you think, Chris?
Sure, absolutely. I will say my family and I tried to see the Towering Inferno, and I can still picture this day the very, very, very long line outside the theater and the kid in his usher's outfit coming to tell us all it was sold out.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
In the era before pre-purchases and pick your seat and stuff like that. And I remember being bitterly disappointed because, you know, I was 7 and I loved William Holden.
Yeah.
You know, I really
you really wanted to see the complicated backstory of Richard Chamberlain's character, as we all did.
Well, me, I just admired Paul Newman because he had a bed in his office.
Was he a fireman? Was that?
No, he was like the building
okay.
supervisor or something, and
That's right.
took his girlfriend to his office. Okay, right through there's my little lounge.
I forgot about that because she dies wearing his shirt because they've made whoopee, as the grown-ups say.
Who's she in it?
Actually, John, a small correction. That wasn't Paul Newman's girlfriend because he was with Faye Dunaway. That was oh goodness, the one you're thinking of was Mrs. Muir. I figured her name too.
Oh,
Lang? Hope
and
Lang.
her boyfriend was Heart to Heart. What's that guy?
Robert Wagner.
Thank
Robert
you.
Wagner.
Robert Wagner. Yeah.
I almost said Richard Wagner. All right, let's take a look at the Towering Inferno.
Paul Newman architect. Okay.
This is my personal favorite Irwin Allen disaster.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Spark becomes a night of blazing suspense. The
Blazing
Towering
suspense.
Inferno. It's out of control.
Based on the book The Glass Inferno.
I think it's based on 2 books.
Yep.
No way.
There was one book called The Tower and one called The Glass Inferno. And
Oh my God.
yeah.
Only Irwin Allen could wrangle those two into this story.
Of course. Can we have full screen, please, sir?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Paul Newman, William Holden,
I guess that was a big
Faye Dunaway, Fred Astaire,
deal as far as
Susan
the
Blakely,
billing
Richard
between
Chamberlain,
McQueen
Jennifer
and
Jones,
Newman.
O.J. Simpson, Robert Vaughn, and
Gee.
Robert Wagner. The Towering Inferno. Those people are going to die up there. Something's not done.
That's right.
Happy
Just after Thanksgiving.
I'm always in if there's Dabney Cole.
I'll never let you go anywhere without me again.
Oh, I forgot Fred Astaire's in there.
There he is. And there they are.
Oh, no. Yeah.
The Towering
See what happens when you run out to the helicopter?
Now, the producer of the Poseidon Adventure.
Just throw the blob on top of it. I'll put it out.
The
More
Poseidon
stars,
Adventure.
more suspense than you've ever seen in one motion picture. Steve McQueen is the fire chief. Paul Newman is the architect.
The architect. That's
The
what.
two-fisted architect.
And therefore the bad guy?
I mean,
No, he was a good guy.
He was the good guy because Richard Chamberlain was the guy who came up short on all the safety features.
He
was
cut
shady
corners.
He pocketed the money.
That's why Newman survived and Richard Chamberlain died. Poetic justice.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe our chat can correct me, but I think this is the only film for which Fred Astaire ever got an Oscar nomination.
Oh, that is a really good...
I didn't know that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Very big, long career behind him, and the movie where he doesn't dance. Okay, here's your Oscar or your nomination.
Well, it was a very star-studded film. Like most of those actors were very respected.
Right.
So they did have that going for them.
There's a great picture you can find online from the Fox lot of the entire cast of Towering Inferno walking together arm in arm with big grins on their faces, like one of those like 1940s publicity photos. And like OJ's there and everybody's just so weird. Like we're making this fetishistic death picture, but everyone, let's get together. We're going to do a very silly picture of all of us smiling and wearing tuxedos and big floppy bow ties.
Well, let's talk about what preceded it. Airport was already a big hit. So I think everybody knew there was a lot of money in this. It did take certain people like Irwin Allen to just be, sure, we're just going to throw everything right in your face. And it was good for the 70s. People in the 70s really dug that.
And I wonder why, because it really is, you're just watching people die over the course of 120 minutes. What about the 1970s? Did that really strike a chord where you're going to see your favorite star get killed?
That's a very good question, because there is a certain, if you'll pardon the phrase, snuff film quality.
Yeah.
To you say Shelley Winters is in this and she might get killed?
Oh, okay.
But it's like
swimming, no less.
In the 90s, there was a lot of blowing up of the White House and destroying New York and stuff like that. And they seemed to cool it for a little while after 9/11. Like there was maybe it's not hilarious when a building blows up and people die. And then I think a couple of years after 9/11, that Day After Tomorrow movie came out where everything froze and we were being hit by tidal waves and stuff, and people quickly forgot.
Well, back to natural disasters, pretty much.
Jake Gyllenhaal outrunning a glacier and wolves. They had to throw wolves in there too. Oh, that movie kills me. Oh, The Day After kills me. But there had been 2012. There had been, there was this weird. I always think that after 9/11, that the American psyche took a hit the way Japan took a hit, and they came up with Godzilla and with kaiju. And I feel like we came up with these literally planet-killing disasters focused on Americans.
Yeah. And ones that we couldn't help.
Right.
Like maybe we could have avoided 9/11, but we can't miss that glacier.
Although the argument could be made in 2012 that we caused the glacier.
Yeah.
I kind of love that. Like, okay, that brings up a lot of old Hollywood rumors. I don't know if we should. Shame on you, sir.
Hey, Shelley was just having a good time, She was enjoying her fame.
Wait, Shelley Winters was in Wild in the Streets? Okay, I'm gonna have to see that. I've never seen that. All right. Anyway, back to, I do love the creature feature quality of things like The Swarm, which of course I think came after Jaws.
Yeah,
a couple years.
Killer Bees is now moving.
Killer Bees. Remember, everyone was so terrified of Killer Bees.
Oh yeah.
Only the resources of modern technology may be able to stop it in time.
You
I
probably
love
mutated
mentioning
him.
modern technology with this really cheesy effect.
Adventure. Starring Michael Caine, Catherine Ross, Richard Widmark, Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland, Ben Johnson, Lee Grant, Jose Ferrer, Patty Duke Aston,
Dead.
Slim Pickens,
Dead.
Bradford Dillman,
Dead.
Fred McMurray,
Dead.
and Henry Fonda
Dead.
in a spectacular adventure.
I think
of
everybody but
human
Michael
ingenuity.
Caine. Oh no, and Catherine Ross. Okay.
You knew you were in
Catherine Ross.
for a good disaster flick if you had Michael Caine in there.
We're gonna escape these bloody beasts. Bloody beasts. Shall we
I'm
go
going to save my best for Jaws 4, though.
a bloody shark
And
bloody killing bloody people?
Sterling Sullivan wrote the screenplay to that, and he's a pretty prestigious, and I have to research it, screenwriter. Imagine hold on. I'm sorry if you'll all bear with me. Sullivan wrote. Okay, where are we here?
The disaster is so horrible they had to have 2 exclamation points, one at the beginning, one at the end.
I mean, he wrote the screenplay to Charlie, which got Cliff Robertson an Oscar.
Oh,
And he wrote the screenplay to Heat of the Night. And just I've won a couple of Oscar-winning things. I'm intrigued by this Bee project.
Well, I mean, it was actually pretty relevant to people at the time. I mean, there was a genuine fear of these things, which never seemed to arrive.
Supposedly,
be ready any day. Now they're going to be here.
They were going to get north of the Mexican border by 1979. I remember the TV show In Search Of was always like, we're okay for now, but 1980, we're all going to get stung by Africanized bees.
and Leonard Nimoy would never mislead us in his shows. That's all true.
Leonard Nimoy was the man of integrity. Always was, always will be.
Where was Earthquake in all of this?
Earthquake was after Inferno, around 74.
But before the Swarm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Swarm was like 78, 79, as I recall.
I remember when Earthquake was first on TV in the United States. The big feature was you could tune into a particular FM station and get it in sense around.
Oh yeah.
So you could turn up your family's speakers and it'd be all bass and rumbling and stuff like. But I saw Earthquake about a year ago, and am I jumping ahead? Do you have an Earthquake package or? Oh
no, I don't think Earthquake was part of the Irwin Allen oeuvre.
Oh, is Earthquake not Irwin Allen?
Oh, it is.
Oh, okay. Oh,
it's not.
But it's not.
Is it, Joe?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure it is.
Can anyone help us in the chat?
Help us out, chat members.
I got too many things going on. Just too lazy.
If nothing else, we'll chalk it to being part of the disaster trend of the 70s.
Right.
But I saw Earthquake recently. Ooh. You're just dying for the earthquake to happen. There's like an hour where nothing happens. You're meeting all these characters. There's literally a scene where Marjo Gortner goes to get a haircut.
Oh,
please level the city. And once the earthquake occurs, but it just takes so long to set up this world with these different people. There's a stunt motorcyclist, and Charlton Heston and Ava Gardner are broken up, and
well, we had to allow enough non-disaster time, Chris, to see Victoria Principal in her T-shirt.
Yeah.
Homina.
Well, Gloria Swanson played herself in Airport 75.
She played herself?
Yeah. The character is Gloria Swanson.
Really?
Yeah.
Right this way, Gloria Swanson. Did she know she was in a movie?
Maybe not.
Okay. I was
a little detached, actually.
Thank you, Raphael. Earthquake was not Irwin Allen. I'm sorry.
Okay, my apologies for that mistake.
Nope. Anyway, the first part of Earthquake is dull.
Hold on. Mario Puzo co-wrote Earthquake.
No, really?
Hold on.
It's like a Sterling Sullivan thing. Well, I've written all this acclaimed work. What about this picture where Marjo Gortner gets a haircut and Victoria Principal wears a tight T-shirt?
Hey, at least he bounced back with Superman, you know?
I'm intrigued. Oh, that's right.
That's true. I forgot about that. Oh, God. Stop talking about earthquakes before we get one. Hey, Chris is headed right back to upstate New York.
Yeah. Heck with that.
He's going to leave us in a cloud of dust.
He corroded. Okay. But he did The Swarm, and I think Irwin Allen wrapped it up with When Time Ran Out. Was that his last disaster movie with Paul Newman and Jacqueline Bisset? I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the disaster was.
Well, I guess Time Ran Out. That's pretty disastrous. Yeah.
I haven't found anything like When Time Ran Out. I didn't run across it. So
1980, When Time Ran Out. Blah blah blah. Oh, When Time Ran Out, it's about a volcano.
Oh, we hadn't touched volcanoes yet, so that's good. Okay.
Let's see. Okay, some crew.
Normally, to have a volcano movie, you got to have. Oh my God.
Irwin Allen did do When Time Ran Out, which I remember used to be on HBO a lot when I was 12 or 13.
That makes up for my earthquake misidentification.
It has William Holden and Red Buttons again. Those guys were on Irwin Allen's speed dial.
They were part of the rep company. Wow. I didn't remember anything about this movie.
Yeah. I think it was pretty critically reviled. It was like DJ BTV, whose name I know, but I don't want to dox her, as they say on the internet. It was in 1980.
We call her Diana. It's cool.
All right. But yeah, 1980, clearly the end of the disaster film area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and somebody just pointed out Walter Matthau in Earthquake, which we shouldn't be talking about because it's not Irwin Allen, but what the heck. But I'll add to that trivia point that he was billed, I don't know why exactly, I guess to be understated, but he was billed by his real name of Walter Mazakowski or whatever it is.
Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah. Use the name Mazakowski. I don't want SAG to take any money out of that check. Thank you, everyone, for putting up with my Walter Matthau.
Oh, is that who that was?
You bastard.
It's very interesting, though, to go from science fiction to just straight disaster death porn for the remainder of his career.
Isn't that interesting, though? I mean, I feel like he now I don't know anything about the movie Airport other than it was a huge hit, and it had Airport 75 and Airport 79, which I believe is the
don't forget Airport 77.
Airport 77 is when they sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, they go in the ocean, they're submerged. And
then Airport 79 has the Concorde.
It was actually had the subtitle of the Concorde, yes.
Okay. All right.
Right. Remember there was a there was a Concorde at some point because you got to get the fancy airplane.
Yeah.
And as much as Airplane was a knockoff of 0 Hour, it was also obviously a knockoff of Airport 75. So
right. Which is why in Airplane they show the jet, but they have the sound of a propeller plane.
Yes.
Because 0 Hour had that. I'm sorry, this show is such a mess.
No, that's the best. That's the best kind of show.
All right, so we can start taking a look at some of the pieces of Irwin Allen's Sci-Fi, or we can go straight to Voyage at the Bottom of the Sea, which, by the way, we don't have to watch. We have enough other things to watch.
Well, hey, we're just having a good time, and I vote for looking at some of the snippets and then the main feature. I just think it's you're having a good time when you get to the main topic, almost 50 minutes into the show.
Regretfully, that's the other thing. I'm sort of regretfully getting to the main part. Like, really didn't plan this show out very well. All right. So this is a
fiction has made the label.
This is a promo for Irwin Allen.
The man who brought you Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Lost in Space.
I think this is the voice of the robot.
And Land of the Giants.
I think so, yeah.
Now comes fantasy worlds of Irwin Allen.
That could be a porn title.
The
I like the
label recently
shuttlecraft.
released the single most ambitious box set in sci-fi history.
Oh, it is a
Six
box set
CD
commercial. Yeah.
Fantasy worlds of Irwin
I gotta say, I always preferred the third season Lost in Space music to the other two.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Williams wrote all of it, but
It is John Williams, isn't it?
yes, sir.
Oh, it's a commercial. Everyone ignore it. Everyone ignore it. Ad blocker doesn't work. Ignore it. Here we go.
Look at that color.
That's what things looked like in Irwin Allen's head.
Yeah. In color.
Now
This must be the time tunnel.
Okay.
Yes. This is the time tunnel intro, which I've never seen in color. Can I just say?
Wow.
I didn't love this show, so
I gotta say, it wasn't available in syndication, at least in my area. So I don't know if I've ever seen it at all.
Yeah, I think they used to play it on the Boston stations. I knew it was out there, but there were other things I'd rather watch, like Speed Racer or something like that.
I think it's great that our show background, anime background, goes right along with the time tunnel.
All right, this is called Land of the Giants video.
And it doesn't have to be more specific than that because they're all the same anyway.
This looked like it was painted on the side of a van.
There was kind of a fat bad guy, and like this show had its own Dr. Smith, right?
It did. It had its own Will. Had the kid.
Yeah, there was a kid. He was no Bill Mummy though.
No.
Had two attractive ladies. So you kind of got your Judy and Penny.
It's the space stewardesses, right?
Yeah. Now, what are they doing here in a normal sized neighborhood?
It must be a child's toy. Heather Young, known for being Heather Young.
Were they shrunk, or did they just wind up someplace where people were big?
They went through some kind of space thing, some anomaly.
Okay. All right.
And they just landed on this planet where they're all giants.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the like opposite world on Earth.
Okay.
And they're giants. So you had the two things going on where, like, you know, there's like a terrible government, terrible repressive government on this planet.
Okay.
But they're more, you know, trying to run away from pencils and cats and stuff.
But could they maybe explained up front, listen, we're small. We know you're big.
Well, as I recall, for some reason, the giants always wanted to hurt them or kill them or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
They were harmless to them. I mean, what's the big deal?
So that's the bad guy right there.
Yeah, that's them.
In the William Shatner pilot for Nero Wolfe, that guy was Nero Wolfe.
Really?
Really? Wow.
There's the giant pencils. Oh, it's a match.
They used clips from that pilot in The Practice later, or Boston Legal.
Yeah.
They had a flashback to Shatner's character as a young man, and they used clips from the Nero Wolfe show as flashback stuff.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
It is.
I took a peek at it because I was researching for, you know, maybe we should do it at some point. And it looks pretty good. It's not very long, but it looked good.
This is a weird, like, Apple photo gallery.
This is my favorite part when they put them down with the Scotch tape.
This is like some guy who really loved the show together. And hey, you know, look, Cot Vic 6 Vivig 1. We totally appreciate it. Thank you for making this video. It's probably time we moved on.
Check out my Land of the Giants shop on Etsy. You buy some stuff there.
You might want to pick up a giant pencil, maybe a sandwich that 6 people could climb into. Lots of things in my Etsy store.
There was an episode of I Dream of Jeannie, which I'm sure used a lot of these props, where they shrunk down Tony Nelson. What, Flood again?
Flood, one of the most spectacular and suspenseful dramas ever presented, starring Robert Culp, Martin Milner, and Carol Lindley. Wednesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time. On the Quest, a dramatic showdown, all on NBC.
Wow.
Haven't been able to take my eyes off my husband's pants since he tried this morning trick.
Oh, guys, don't don't get all attached to these pants because we are not buying them. All right.
If you get attached to your pants, you got a problem.
Time tunnel.
The time.
But what does it cost a man to face the incredible dangers of the past or the unknown secrets of the future?
Well, don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, if that man is James Darren, then no one cares.
Let's put him through the kaleidoscope.
That is impossible. The ship is unthinkable.
Oh,
Michael
God,
Michael
big
Rennie
screen
from
again,
Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh, he's in everything that
Yeah.
Irwin Allen does at least once, you know? I remember him on Lost in Space.
John, may I request full screen again, please, sir?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
We just lost
ignoring
James
the
Darren.
chat because
Donald Pleasance. Is it? No.
Oh my. I guess I killed the sound. Hang on. Bouncing from one place to another. All right, so this is early Lost in Space here.
Oh, interesting. Space Family Robinson, as John points out.
From the world of tomorrow comes a thrilling new television series, Lost in Space. Here are the amazing
In the distant year 1997.
pioneers marooned on an uncharted planet. Adventure as
Wearing their parkas.
as proud as the stars. Spectacle beyond imagination.
Taken off in jetpacks.
Jetpacks.
The astronauts struggled for survival.
I always thought it was great that the show took place in 1997.
Are they going to show the Sci-Fi?
And the remake came out in 1997. Oh, there he is. Hairy giant Cyclops monster.
Don what?
Challenging. These are the adventures you will share. Lost in Space.
It's a great looking show.
Yeah.
Well, they went all out the first year for sure.
But apparently, at some point, they decided it had to be Will as older homosexual friend, Dr. Smith.
And I think like the third season, they were just on one planet, right? Kind of like third season Star Trek, where they were always on the ship. Like
pretty much. I mean, the budget had pretty much dwindled by then, I'm sure.
Yeah. Here we go.
Now, aren't they like just all signed and dressed up like that?
By the way, I don't think emerging from the ocean like that will be easy on the crew.
I was going to say, I mean, do they have artificial gravity too, like on the Enterprise? And
oh dear, you are there.
The entire sky catches on fire. The burning Van Allen belt threatening to destroy the universe. You are there in a deadly rain of disintegrating icebergs.
Oh no, that's some friggin' hell there. Now, this was the only one based on a movie, wasn't it? A prior movie?
Yes.
Yeah. He did the movie as well, right?
He must have.
I believe so, but I'm only kind of working on that assumption.
And this is from the movie what we're watching now.
Yes, this is the movie.
Oh, I didn't recognize it. Okay.
Yeah.
And they would
here
use
we
a
go.
lot of footage.
Joan Fontaine.
I say, the belt will burn itself out. At 173 degrees, it will burn itself out.
Barbara Eden.
What did she do with that?
Hey, Barbara Eden.
Peter Lorre.
Nothing is impossible.
Robert Sterling.
If I'm to meet your deadline of the Marianas, I need fighters, not fatalists.
Who?
Michael and Sarah. And
Michael and
Frankie
Sarah.
And the dog.
Due respect, sir.
The dog.
It's been a little rocky lately.
Or you gold-bricking pipsqueak.
Oh!
You are there when the United Nations is thrown
Cut.
into a
Do it
turmoil.
again.
The burning belt must
And
be
again and again.
clear of the Earth's magnetic field, and we have exactly
Fortunately, Barbara Eden is doing shorthand.
3 hours in which to do it.
Well, Barbara Eden can do anything she wants, as far as I'm concerned.
Hubbub, hubbub. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
You are there when the frogmen battle a mammoth squid.
Frogmen.
My money's
You are
on
there
Frogman.
Oh, hello.
Barbara
Is that
Eden
Barbara?
dances to Frankie
That's
Avalon
Barbara.
on rhythm.
Must be.
You are there in outer space to see the Earth.
Barbara and Michael and Sarah were married, were they not?
They were.
Oh.
Well, she was pregnant with his baby the first season of Genie.
Oh my God.
You are
He's
there
carrying
in the
Ansara.
most startling underwater pursuit ever built.
Look, we get it. We are there.
We are there, yes. That looks really phallic in that shot. Oh, that guy went the wrong way. It's like in Star Trek.
He gave the Barbara Eaton scene.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So do I have another theatrical trailer lined up? What is this here? Oh, no. Okay. This is the promo. Another promo for Land of the Giants.
1964. A unique concept in entertainment was brought to the television screen.
If it's a flying sub, is it still a sub?
If it is a foot-long sub. I don't know.
This is one of those
That
special
thing. Oh, my
submarines.
goodness.
It's one of those special submarines you can fire all the machine guns you want inside it. Boom. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Who let the werewolf on, man? He didn't get on a submarine by himself.
Does a full moon matter at the bottom of the ocean?
Oh, my God.
1965. Another excitingly different concept came to vivid light.
Here we go. Second season.
Give him the giraffe, Will. Come
Oh
on.
dear. Oh dear.
There was an explosion. Oh, when you didn't say that was some an explosion.
Oh, the pain. Who didn't have a crush on Penny? I did.
Oh, come on. Penny, Judy, you're all just perfect. Oh, evil frog. Sure. And then
1966. Still another fantastic concept.
shot at the Galleria in Sherman Oaks.
We're locked in on it.
That is Donald Pleasance, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It seems like even the promo makers aren't that excited about Time Tunnel.
I swear they were just fast forwarding and they just took out anything that had an explosion in it.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's economical. They can use lots of stock footage.
Oh, no. Chris, Retro Rangers always goes over an hour.
Oh, yes, Chris. Yes, there's a big difference there.
When we go over
Fancy
2
ground
hours,
for 2.
please point it out because we should wind it up at 2 hours.
Well, how long is the episode we're going to watch? That's an hour, right?
It's supposed to be an hour.
Okay.
So we should get to it if we're going to get to it. But we don't have to because we've got lots of other things, including extensive interviews with Jonathan Harris and Bill Mumy.
No, we got to at least get some of the Deadly Dolls in there because we did promote it. Now I want to see the doll with the beard.
The pilot, Tim Burton, 26 years old.
Tim Burton?
3-year veteran of futuristic transports.
Not the Tim Burton we know.
Dan Erickson, 25 years old.
Why are we looking at a bad watercolor?
Yeah,
I think this is the pitch. I do. I think this is like, the backers audition.
Wow.
And this woman has an umbrella on her head. That's cool.
4 passengers. Mark Wilson, 34 years old.
Mark Wilson. Wilson Marks. Marks and Wilson Marks.
Millionaire at 30. Now on his way to a
A
business.
millionaire at 30. Good for him.
Joan Templeton, DS.
That's a lot of money in those days. This is the setup, I think, to get you to buy into Land of the Giants.
Wow.
So, we're meeting the people because it's about their stories, their human growth.
I think it would have been more effective with the real actors, though. I'm not this painting stuff. I'm not getting behind.
I'm not even sure they had it cast at this point.
Well, good point. Good point.
This looks like.
I'm sure so many actors were clamoring to be part of that project.
Are we ready for our main feature, John?
I think we should get to our main feature just so we can get out of here under 2 hours.
Now, our main feature features Vincent Price.
Yes.
And can I show you a little bit of Vincent Price rare memorabilia I have?
Oh, please.
I bought this unopened at a record store in Santa Monica, but this is a co-star record with Vincent Price, and it comes with a script. And do we lose John?
John, he has to drop himself out so he can see you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But this is something where Vincent Price acts in famous scenes from theater. There's some importance of being earnest in here, some portion of Enemy of the People. And you put this on your turntable and you act along with him. And I tried it once. He's kind of rushing through his lines. Because I would be there with the script and suddenly be like, well, there, what are you going to do now? You know, and but I was lucky enough to get this unopened. It's from the late 1950s. It only cost me $13. But if you're ever interested in doing an episode based on this record, it was part of a series. You could also act with Cesar Romero, Fernando Lamas, Arlene Dahl, George Raft, Sir Cedric Hardwicke, Basil Rathbone. There's a lot of actors whose alcoholism had taken over at this point. There's Basil Rathbone and Tallulah Bankhead, two notable examples. But yeah, I thought this was a very interesting record series. And when you try to act with Vincent Price, I noticed that when you're only listening to him, he really likes the sound of his own voice. Like, he is really spending a lot of time with the words. And
yes, it's funny. We were listening to one of his radio shows this past Thursday night, and he did not always play that part. Like, there are other versions of that show where it's not Vincent Price. And I actually prefer his because the word picture is better.
Okay. Because
he really does romance it and pound it. And he's playing a character. He's playing like a real working class character. There's dropping the G's off the end of his,
playing against type, huh?
It's so weird for a guy who people thought was British, even though he didn't have a British accent, which is really odd.
Exactly. I'd like to have another look at that, Chris, but John, could you take the Trekkers promo off first?
I will take it down. Here we go.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I really couldn't see the album cover. Oh, here we go. How debonair.
Yeah, smoking a cigarette.
All right.
Well, I guess you want to do a scene with me, huh? All right. Let's see if you can catch up, Chris.
Yeah, and it comes with the a little booklet along with your sides. And you could just sit there in your home. And they have tips on the back of the album cover for taping yourself while you're doing it, I guess, for audition purposes. And I did a reading with Vincent Price one time. Not that.
Technically, you did.
And I'm sure your experience with him was similar to others. He wasn't listening. He was just doing his thing.
But this record store, the Record Warehouse in West LA, they have a personality section where there's all sorts of records like that.
Yeah.
And they had another Vincent Price record where Vincent Price teaches you about wine. So like you could listen to him tasting wine and talking about what you should pair with it. But
he really was the first podcaster.
Yeah. I mean, just this sort of refined, fancy guy. I read that he later became an art buyer for Sears. Like when you went into the Sears kind of home goods section, whatever the mass-produced paintings that you could buy there were selected by Vincent Price. But
yes,
well, when you collect all his other talents, and he culminated his career pretty much with giving his adopted son scissors for hands. You know what? That guy was very talented.
Had a lot of different fields of interest.
I'm here to be a sommelier. I hope you like the taste of blood. Very, very good. Okay, let's see if we can get this in. It's a 50-minute show.
It's without commercials.
Without commercials. Oh, speaking of which, we should probably once again just plug our stuff.
Okay.
Next Saturday on Retro Trekkers, we'll be doing the episode Twilight. We're looking for good episodes of Enterprise that we have not done yet. We haven't done this one yet, so that's going to be fun. Next week, we'll be watching Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. And American Oni, a wrestling, the Pride Warrior. American Oni will be joining us for that. That'll be fun. And coming up this week, I will pre-record this. My wife has informed me. I will pre-record this Thursday night, this Thanksgiving night, and you will have an episode of The Amazing Nero Wolf. It's the only episode from this series to have survived the years. And this might be interesting to you, Chris. Might be interesting to you, chat. Nero Wolf will be played by Francis X. Bushman.
Silent film star Francis X. Bushman. Wow. How about that?
And absolutely ripped, like one of the handsomest, most fit people to ever play Nero Wolf.
John, we're going to share our plans for the month of December on Rangers now.
We are.
Okay.
We are. Did you want to do that now or some other?
I just was curious whether it's going to be now or at the end of the episode, but I'll take this if you don't mind. As we just said,
have music for this.
Oh, you got some music.
Brand new today.
What's that going? Then we got a month long of holiday treats for you on Retro Rangers. As John said, beginning next week, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, and cool watch party there. December 8th, we're going to have just some cool random bits, commercials, clips for the holiday season with stocking stuffers. And of course, we can't slow down the momentum, can we, John? And when we get to December 15th, we got to really ramp it up with the tried and true, beloved Star Wars holiday special. Everybody loves it. They can't live without it. And then finally, something a little bit worthwhile in December 22nd, It's a Wonderful Life. So there you go, all month long. Retro Rangers Holiday Watch Party.
And can I point out, if you look at the graphic in the lower right-hand corner, Joe Townsend as Zuzu is easily one of my favorite things he's ever made in an image. And I love all of the posters that Joe makes, but this one makes me weep. I never knew
I'd look pretty adorable, don't I?
I never knew I wanted to raise a little girl that looks like Joe Townsend until now.
Well, it's never too late, John.
Okay, so let me
Raphael, come on.
There we go. Hang on, I gotta run over, I gotta stop the music. There we go.
Star Wars Holiday Special, an early Bruce Valanche effort. I believe he's the credited writer of that, or one of the credited writers.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, now I'm kind of psyched for it.
And he still has a career.
I actually want to watch it now.
I enjoyed him on Celebrity Fit Club very much, have to say. He seemed like someone I would like to know. Okay, here we go. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. And as I have maybe said before, this was the first hour of television that a little John Weber, who thought everything on television was amazing. And if it's on television, it must be the greatest thing in the world. And I saw this at like 9 years old, and I went, some TV's just not good.
So little Johnny Weber was developing some taste at this point?
This is where the cynicism started to sneak in and kind of poison everything in my brain. It was this episode. Oh boy. Okay, here we go.
John, I don't believe we're sharing, sir.
Thank you. Sorry, you're just gonna have to watch me watch it.
Well, that's entertaining too.
How was I ever a disc jockey? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I read that the show did 30 episodes its first season.
Could be.
That's insane.
That sounds right, though. I mean, they did have a ton of footage left over from the movie.
Yeah.
So it was added, I'm guessing.
Star Trek did 29. I mean, that wasn't that uncommon to do quite a few for a season back then.
Like we on Family Guy, we do 20, And that's so much more than other network TV shows now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're kind of a dinosaur in that respect, but to do,
Well,
I mean, they must have been working around the clock.
Well, I mean, we mentioned Leave It to Beaver earlier in relation to the Munsters. I mean, that show ended up having 256 episodes in 6 years because every year they did 39 episodes.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yep.
Wow. And it wasn't a syndicated show, right?
Well, I mean, not initially it was CBS and then ABC.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's the thing. Syndicated shows will knock out 65 for a year.
Yeah.
That's a syndicated show.
The whole like Tyler Perry model of
right. Okay, here we go.
Time for some Deadly Dolls.
You dare to disobey my orders? I'm the Admiral.
You dare to push me around? I'm the captain.
It starts right with them, too.
So we're never out of trouble. So take that, and that, and that.
Oh, the captain's going to
Mutiny, I'll
put
have
on
you
some insubordination notices here.
I'll have you battered with belaying pins.
sent to the fishes.
Boxed by the compass.
Caught by
He's
the
not smiling so much now.
Gentlemen, hold it. Lay off and desist.
Lay you off. Hey, cut it out.
Assist yourself.
How can a puppet be a mushmouth?
Hey, there's Vincent.
Who says so?
Yeah, who says so?
Right, just for that, you can both cool off in the brig. And you can follow them, Mr. Morton. Well, that's all, gentlemen. Thank you. Safe and eat.
Not a strong ending.
Stores are all aboard, sir. We're ready to sail.
Very well.
Punching Judy there, huh?
This is the captain. All hands to duty stations. Prepare to get underway in 30 minutes.
Aye, sir.
Okay, we've had our fun. Let's get to work.
Do they need to get to the surface to drop off the puppeteer for his next job?
Coming aboard and entertain us, Professor, because it was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Those
was okay.
dolls you were using are very realistic.
Oh,
Are they?
You mean these?
What?
What the heck is this?
No, those are not the ones.
Oh, yes, indeed they are, Admiral. The facial resemblance is an ingenious makeup that I just wipe off.
You put makeup on your puppets.
Thanks, no. My dolls are no problem.
Well, makeup and
Well, let us
toupees,
know
I
as soon
guess.
as you're ready, and we'll have your gear taken ashore.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're on a supply upload or whatever you call it. They're getting supplies right now.
A crew of men. Oh,
Wait a minute. That sucker's alive.
Isn't it time, Professor? Very nearly time.
Nearly. But not quite yet.
Soon?
Yes, soon. Very soon.
I'm gonna have to mute myself. I'm gonna be laughing too hard, I think.
By the way, nothing had a crew of men on a long mission like more than a puppet show when it's entertainment night.
You could at least made them girl puppets.
Yeah, could we have gotten Joey Heatherton or something?
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, folks, Jerry Heatherton and I are happy to be here on the big old submarine.
By the way, about a decade before this, Richard Basehart was directed by Fellini and Lestrada.
Exactly. And now he's fighting off Deadly Dolls. Poor Basehart. What did he do? What did he do?
Well, he was blacklisted.
Oh, was he?
Well, yeah, that's why he had to go to Italy.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. But he was forgiven to come back to do this, I guess.
Or this was his punishment? I don't know.
Sure gave us a good laugh.
Is it just me, or is this a very roomy submarine?
Admiral, sorry we couldn't see you on personally. We're having a little trouble with the engineering circuit.
It's good to see the stars of The Fly reunited here.
Yeah.
Oh, sir. Excuse me. I've been thinking.
Well, that was interesting that they carried an admiral along with the captain on the ship.
Rewiring the conduits near the armory. Maybe that's where the trouble is.
Right. Check it out as soon as we get underway.
Aye, aye, sir.
Yeah, that's showbiz.
Captain Crane. Attention, Captain Crane. This is Nelson. Please report to the secretary room.
Admiral?
They had their sound effect like Trek had theirs.
Thank you, DJ BTV.
I hope we meet again.
sure we will.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we will.
We certainly will.
Have my puppets sent up top.
They paid me top dollar for this guest sparring spot, so I'll be the whole episode.
Admiral?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was kind of wondering how that was.
Oh, okay. Appreciate the clarification, Chris.
Yes.
Well, then why did you ask me to report to you here?
I didn't. You checked out G-Sig again. Yes, sir. The trouble isn't there. And try K4 and keep at it.
By the way, David Hedison on the left, who is the titular Fly in The Fly. For a while in his career, it's because Vincent Price is in The Fly, but he's like the Fly's brother-in-law, which is very
he wasn't
weird.
the monster. That's true.
Yeah, but for a while in his career, he began to be billed as Al Hedison, which strikes me as such a weird, like, I'm feeling more like an owl now. I'm kind of, I'm putting David away.
Patterson.
Yes, sir.
The Admiral did call me on the intercom, didn't he?
Yeah, those sudden billing changes are kind of interesting. I just rewatched Airport 75. Forgive me. And I realized that they had Linda Harrison, who played Nova in Planet of the Apes with Heston.
Yeah.
She was Gloria Swanson's little companion in that movie.
Oh.
But she was billed with an entirely different name for some reason.
Well, she married the producer of Planet of the Apes.
Well, I mean, it was different first and last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she had just like in Planet of the Apes, she had one line of dialogue anyway. I'm just feeling time till we see more dolls, so forgive me, guys.
Does this take place in the future?
I think the near future, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
probably like 1980 or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's a neatly arranged storage unit.
Pyramidal stuff. Considering how many times this boat gets rocked.
If the sea view is rocking, don't come knocking.
We got to go down and reorganize all our. Oh, Al is his real first name, and there was already an Al Hedison Hollywood. Oh, okay.
Oh,
thank you, Chris. Other Chris.
That happens.
Thank you.
Is somebody asking who Sherry Lewis
Wait
is?
a
She was
minute.
Lamb Chop. That was her puppet.
Oh no, actually, no. That I did that in the wrong order. Chris is saying that he got ventriloquist lessons from Sherry Lewis.
Oh,
and he's now reassuring us that's true. Oh, I had a huge crush on Sherry Lewis.
well, she was a great ventriloquist.
Yes, sir. It sure looks that way, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Chief. Just leave him there. We'll handle it.
Aye, sir. It's great.
Wouldn't that sound effect just drive you insane after a couple days?
Oh my god!
None of these guys read remotely military.
No. Look at that. What military can I have my hair out like that?
Everyone's a little stooped.
Yes, we have his puppets. What's this?
Wait a minute. That's a very good question. What?
Oh.
Either dig in there and find it or walk away. I mean,
science fiction always needs blonde men.
Chief, what happened? Yes. There was a little bit of disturbance in the doll pile.
I'm ready to control.
Doll pile. What?
What are you doing here?
Oh! Wait a minute, are these like mind control dolls?
Multiple is what I give women.
Oh, I see.
He's got a mole.
I'm getting creeped out.
Time for these others to grow too.
Yeah, Marines. That would make sense. There are Marines on this ship. Yeah.
Everybody up. Wake up. Time to wake up. Go on. Wait.
I'm going to crack every time they show a close-up at this guy. I'm sorry. know, that's a great idea.
Armory report.
I have no idea, Ralph. None of this is making any sense.
No, it was that blonde dude. You could see his human hands knocking it out.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So he must be like, I don't know, double agent or something.
Well, oh boy. Okay.
what?
I don't know what that is.
They got tired of their own sound effects. So they brought in the Lost in Space sound effect. Uh-oh.
Professor, what are you doing here?
It was a stupid mischance, Captain. You had to leave the control room, remember? And, well, I thought I could find my way out, but I got lost. So I found my way back here, and I was just...
You sound so sincere.
Myself when Mr. Morton came in.
I was locating myself repeatedly.
Professor, where did you defend your thesis in puppetry?
Wait a
minute.
minute.
It's empty.
Puppets? Well, if they were my puppets, then they must be found, because I can't lose my puppets.
Where are my puppets?
They're aboard. We'll find them.
If they're aboard, where else would they be? They swam away.
Yes, March.
I contacted Inter-Allied headquarters, sir, about Professor Multiple. They report he's just been murdered.
Wait, what the? What?
Are you,
A victim of puppicide?
Yes, sir. I was shot in his apartment just 10 minutes ago. I have all the details.
all right, Sparks.
Raphael, I would hope so.
I would hope so.
It's the first season effort.
What's that all about, Lee? Yes, after all, I thought that I was Professor Multiple, but if I'm not, then who am I?
That's a good question, isn't it?
And where are my dolls?
And where's the chief?
Where are my dollies?
Well, if I'm dead, who's going to be an adjunct professor at Vassar?
I'm so many kidding wise, but did I miss the part where they show the mind control aspect?
I think we're seeing people get, replaced.
Oh, replaced actually. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are all puppets too, sort of.
Yeah, I think this is the puppet.
Whoa!
Oh, hey.
No. Captain Kirk karate chop there.
All he said was that he...
Wait a minute.
It's
Are you gonna
clobbering time.
No, there's a lot of clobbering that's going to go on, isn't there?
He just looks kind of out of it.
Okay, that's a new move. We are dangerously in Lost in Space territory here.
We are. I mean, the sound effects and everything. I keep waiting for the robot. Danger.
Okay, now these all look like puppets here.
We'll contact headquarters again. Let them figure it out.
That sounds reasonable, Captain.
Meanwhile, let me get away from this freaky puppet guy.
Yeah, and until then, get off my submarine.
Oh, he can teleport too.
Oh, you're here, Chief. I thought we'd lost you. What happened to those dolls?
Aren't they still on the plaza?
Not now, they're not.
In the Navy.
I'll speak to them.
Season 4, episode 2.
SSRNC.
It's
okay.
At the end.
How many seasons were there?
Probably 4.
I was gonna say this feels like the last gasp of a TV show.
I frankly don't know why they didn't make this the season opener. By the way, for second episode.
What was season 1? Holy cow. What was the one that made them go, no, I think we'll save this one for the second week?
I mean, come on, Star Trek used one of their best efforts for the beginning of season 3, Spock's brain. Time to rock back and forth.
Yeah, I was going to do that. It's my job as a level off guy.
Can't you stabilize this son of a bitch?
Can I just point out that it's jokes like this, DJB, that makes Robbie Rist not want to come on this show.
And there have been talks.
There have been talks. Chris, would you drop a line to Robbie? I'm a huge fan. I've been nothing but kind to him. I really do like him.
I'll drop off if he wants to replace me.
I don't think we're going to get him that quickly. And we wouldn't have it any other way, right, John?
No, absolutely not.
You won't pull away.
No, all the risks in the world do not make up for a Regan.
Because as of now, this ship is ours.
Yours.
Exactly. You won't pull away.
Yeah, but keep an eye on Robbie. You know, we want to have a wristwatch.
Engineering.
Oh God, what did I do that for? These dolls got me twisted. I
Get it all out now. Not when Robbie Rist is here. So he's still real, right? He's still him.
Well, yeah, because he's not looking like this.
Will obey you.
Professor's right. Nobody will obey you.
Okay. Oh, exposition, please.
Get down to engineering on the double. See what's going on.
That's my silly graphic. I just keep imagining this puppet as John Weber.
Perhaps you will know later.
John Weber's behind it all.
Tell us now.
Oh, now the music's getting a little Wild Wild West.
Yeah. Slowly I turn, step by step.
Hey, Regan, would you ever do Wild Wild West with us?
I would.
Oh, awesome.
When I was in middle school, that used to air at 3:00.
Oh,
As soon as I got off the bus, I love that show.
Oh, that show is my jam.
It's a date.
The made-for-TV movies, I think, are showable for us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, and I want to look at me for a while.
5'6" Robert Conrad kicking ass.
Yeah.
We've gone off this to discuss Wild Wild West.
I don't like that puppet, but I do like his poetry.
What is their goal?
I can tell you right now, our episode tonight is going to have hundreds of views. At least 200 of them will be mine. Because I'm going to look at this over and over again.
Am I the only one who thinks that the puppets who replace the real people should walk the way puppets walk?
Like that marionette string is going, you know?
Marionette string, super marionette nation, what have you?
I've always find it very interesting that this takes place in the future of like 1980-ish.
Yeah.
Vincent Price still wears like a 1890s tie. That's pretty cool.
Richard Basehart was also in the Knight Rider TV movie, and I believe his character was David Hasselhoff, who they plastic surgeried into David Hasselhoff, a la Rock Hudson in Seconds.
Oh, wow.
Could be wrong about that, but
I kind of love all those connections, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with simple plastic surgery, you can make anybody look like anybody else.
Yeah.
My favorite was always like, it's not that guy. Look, he has a mask on.
I love the like little stackable reams of copy paper that they have.
Magnetic force.
Caution, explosives. Yeah.
10 minutes, we might reach crush depth.
Don't rock the boat. Might blow up.
He sounds like a company commander. Company of what?
Now, why didn't you go after replacing the admiral and the captain first?
Yeah.
I guess because of the stars of the show.
Well, at least we know he's not the real Professor Multiple. He's dead.
At least.
I mean, he's dead. Well, we just got a report from Inter-Allied headquarters.
What do you mean he's dead? Well, there's no heartbeat, no pulse, no brain activities. Yeah, he's dead.
Out of this current. All right, well, look. I'll go to the circuitry room. I'll try to change the control to pull us away. All right?
It's the 1960s, so the important stuff is circuits.
That's futuristic.
Find those men, by golly. It's somewhere on this sub.
Where will we find them? We've seen 3 rooms. There's the storage, the bridge, and the puppet theater.
Have you checked the same hallway over and over?
Kowalski.
That shot just now looked like some guy with a Seaview model farting in the bathtub.
Transistors, circuits, tubes.
Chief. Snap out of it, Chief.
Watch out, that guy behind you is Khan Noonien Singh.
Like that.
So is the big twist that Vincent Price is the puppet?
It is.
I think so.
Oh!
How'd they fit the puppeteer behind that door?
Except for the captain, but he'll be sleeping soon.
It was cut out of a hole of the wall or something.
There was a dome for each of the crew, including you. I'm it.
Really? Yes, me.
Look,
Spitting image.
I don't know what you are or how you can talk, but I do know that this current is going to carry us to crush depth.
Crush depth. Dear.
What's that surgical scar beneath his chin?
He had work done.
Okay.
If you're an over 40 puppet in Hollywood, the opportunities dry up.
Yeah, you gotta tighten it up a little bit.
What is causing this?
All in good time, Admiral. All in good time.
The time's running out.
That's some good acting for opposite a puppet, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Hedison's bringing it. I gotta give it.
I mean, they go on and on about actors acting against green screens now, but it has nothing compared to this. Yeah, where was that, Diana? Where's that spinoff? We should have had it.
The sleeping sort of been drugged. That talking puppet was there. I almost got my hand.
I'm guessing.
Oh, here we go again.
That the spin-off.
You'd think the talking puppet would be the first thing you'd bring up when coming in the room. Oh, and the talking puppet.
Man, they're gonna be hurting later.
Ow! Ow, my hand.
So what happened to my chin? Smarts.
Oof.
Damn, we need Kermit the Frog in here. He's amphibious.
Oh god. Fire in the
Oh,
sub.
dang.
That's never
Chip's
a
on
problem.
fire.
That's a problem.
You smell burning felt.
Is that the solution? They like in the
Cut off
temple,
the oxygen?
they wave fire at them to get them out of it.
How do we fight these things?
I'm not sure, but maybe this gave us a clue.
You mean fire?
The sight of flames, they pass.
See?
If you can manage to get to the armory
and get the flamethrower.
Dr. Jones, snap out of it.
By the way, in this clip, Richard Basehart is 5 years younger than I am.
Oh,
Old people were really old in the old days.
they were.
Young people were really old in the old days.
That's when a pack of cigarettes cost you $0.25. So
Yeah.
And there was no such thing as bottled water.
Yeah, scotch for breakfast. Okay, puppets.
Wait a minute. So they're not replaced; they're duplicated.
Not as close as Sea View as to crush them.
Do you think we'll find Admiral Nelson in the room labeled Admiral Nelson?
Where does he reside?
This is the thing. Like, ultimately, these bad guys are hands, are they not?
Give them the intercom from the missile room. Let them know you're there. Distract them. If I can get to the nose before they spot me, they might have a chance. Yeah.
Oh, hello, thing.
It's fun mentioning the thing. Imagine what John Carpenter would have done with this.
Oh my God. Oh,
I don't know if I can wrap my head around a John Carpenter Deadly Doll. I mean, that's a reach.
No, this is good. This is good. I'm gonna think about that all day.
I'll shoot them deadly dolls.
Don't just clutch your hands in pain. Give this man some applause. He drew his gun to
whack him.
Pistol whip him.
You don't really want to shoot in a submarine.
No, you do not. No, shooting is.
Unfortunately, they couldn't use the Vulcan nerve pinch. That's on another show. Let's see. Check out this guy's tie. What is this?
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
I hear you, Captain. Where are you? In the missile room. I'm putting an end to your plans. I'm blowing.
Yeah, see?
Don't be hasty, Captain. I'm sure we can effect a compromise.
I doubt it.
Why should you? I haven't put you to sleep yet, have
I
I?
haven't put you to
We can
sleep.
work together. Let's call a truce and talk things over.
So the people being replaced are asleep somewhere.
I'm blowing up the submarine.
Because his duplicate's right next to Vincent Price, right?
Yeah. But they're also making people just vanish. So I don't.
That's right. That's right.
They got to be going somewhere.
Oof.
It's
I
damn
need you
great.
to make the biggest ventilation system you possibly can.
Allen wrench.
We need some Jeffries tubes. There we go.
I agree with Chris. This is anti-intellectual.
They're not always nutty. Sometimes they're evil.
I think Die Hard might have killed the ventilation system escape. It seems like ventilation systems as an escape route were as common as quicksand on TV at one time. And trying to think, I think some alien movies and Die Hard, but you don't see that very much anymore.
It's a silly idea. If you ever see how ventilation, is hung.
Would not support the weight of
no. There's no human being that would work for it.
Wow, check out that really cool TV.
Fire up the old PlayStation 5. I grabbed you, Admiral.
This guy should be on screen the whole time. I'm sorry.
If we don't pull out of this current, Seaview is going to be crushed.
You mean my deadly dolls will die?
Indubitably.
Sorry, Admiral. But since dolls don't live, they couldn't care less about die.
Oh, they can be torn apart in the current.
This is what happened on that thing that went to the Titanic a couple of years ago.
But you're human. You see that light? In 1 minute, Seaview is going to implode.
What? He's a doll too. Come on, I haven't even figured it out yet. See? I agree, Dan.
Right?
There he is.
Puppets don't die. Even if you can't die, the ship will be crushed. Is that what you want?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, then let me fire the beam.
That won't be necessary, Admiral. The current is under control. You see, your ship is
Must be hot in that vent.
by the masters of the future, of course.
What?
All right.
Everybody knows the masters of the future.
Puppets? The machines we puppets obey.
Oh, machines.
AI.
Man-created machines.
Oh, that dang AI.
Out in the
They were warning us back in 1960 whatever, and they still do it.
Machines were built. Machines that became greater than their creators.
Just tell us what you're doing.
See for yourself.
Since you're all going to die anyway, I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
Sounds almost as though it were alive.
You might call it that.
Oh, tell us what to call
It is
it.
what brought us here.
Okay.
Reason.
Tell him.
Yes.
What indeed? You were looking at the heart of the control machine.
Does the Admiral puppet just pop up anywhere at any time? I guess so.
Shell dissolved coming through space. Like a hermit crab, it needs a new shell before taking its next giant.
Nice, amphibious reference there. That's cool.
Oh, and obviously, Seaview has been chosen to fulfill this purpose.
Obviously.
Obvious.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
Whoa! There's a jump scare.
Oh! I'll crackle electricity at you. How about that?
How headstrong. Oh, really too bad. Too bad, too bad, too bad.
Not a good catchphrase. I don't know why he goes with it.
Too bad. Man, getting close to those rocks.
Don't give it a thought. He isn't dead.
Later, the two of them would become roommates and have all sorts of adventures on their sitcom.
Oh, good. Did the puppet get his hand-me-downs from when he was a little kid?
She's out there.
He needs a wardrobe after all.
Blue stuff. Of course. Oh, this is the end of the journey.
For the sea view, yes. And presently for you.
Why presently? Why not right now?
Because you designed and built this craft.
Isn't that presently?
I was going to say, isn't presently right now the same thing?
You will live till you're no longer needed. And of course, I take your place. I take it.
Me. That's who.
Puppet's got some issues.
Yeah. A little control freak.
Be kept out of harm's way. Take him to his cabin and lock him up.
Yes, master.
Is it the room with his name on it?
Slippery.
I would think a puppet would have a problem with slippery.
We know by now that he will never work with us. Put him to sleep.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sleep.
Sleep.
It'll be good for him.
John.
I haven't been paying attention, so yes. That's going to be my assumption.
Well, we just had the hermit crab analogy to the evil fiendish plan. So John is entirely correct when he points that out.
So they have one guest on the show, one guest star, and some puppeteers.
We'll leave the keys in the door.
Aliens don't know how keys work? I'm sorry, alien puppets?
Oh, what's in here? What's in the safe?
Is it another gun? Is it a better
gun?
Hey!
This show did not skimp on guns. I really kind of liked that about it.
My passport, my home insurance policy.
So he keeps a gun and a paperclip in his safe.
Yeah.
Find anything, Burns?
No, sir.
Kowalski, you come with me. We'll check out the other compartments.
I love how they still need their names.
Yeah.
They're all puppets. Like, why are you using other people's names?
Oh, big vent.
Wait a minute. I hear vent shuffling.
Be very quiet.
Just slam that door shut on him. You'll knock his ass out. I'm telling you.
Let me drop in here. Okay.
Oh,
crap.
Back in.
Just go right back. Kick him in the face.
That's some good vent kicking.
Close it. Close it.
Close the door.
Close the vent.
See, they're just going to come after you.
You know, every good show has a chase scene.
There it is.
Shuffle.
He would have just as well just to keep running where he went out.
We really need to unpack these boxes. We've been here a year and a half now. If we don't need this stuff, we should just throw it out. Oh, here's our
Wait a minute, who opened the door? The guy he's fighting or him?
Our wedding glassware.
So he could have left by the door the whole time? Now they're coming in the vent.
The box.
Oh, see, Chris, there's your answer. The boxes are empty anyway.
Hey.
Whack. Oh, crap. That's not good on a submarine.
Nope.
Well, it's a submarine. There's got to be a little grab ass at some point.
And of course, we don't want to secure the wall of this storage shelf at all. Could come in handy later to secure
the
that,
vent.
guys.
The vent is not the answer.
I feel like one of the best jobs you could have in the 60s was fight coordinator for any show. Because they use you every week.
So these two are only now communicating?
Where have you been?
Oh, just going back and forth in the vent.
All right. I'll leave the vent open.
Okay, now this time it's not going to be anybody there, right?
Close the vent.
Wait a minute. Think like he wouldn't use the vent again, would he?
Yeah, the vent is really a character in this show.
Oh, man.
I think this time I'll wait for him to go by before I come out. Yeah.
Did you just hear a vent quietly close?
By the way, wouldn't it get annoying after I have to open and reopen those heavy doors with the little spinny thing on?
You heard this story. Enough to know it's bad.
It's bad.
Anyway, take a look.
There it is.
I still say a laser.
A lava lamp.
But you can't get to the observation nose again. Well, there's a laser in the flying sub. If I can get it launched and hit that,
Yeah, let's
all the power that she
let's
got,
light a blunt and just kind of get stoned to this psychedelic thing on the TV.
it could hold a flying sub like a magnet. You'd be trapped. With a remote control power charge.
I know it's so
We're back where we started.
It's so
The remote control power switches in the control room.
Right. That's why you have to be in there.
Well, I gotta say, I'm getting a little impatient because it's been way too long since the puppet was on the screen.
Now, how can I be in there? There's a Captain Graham there already. Isn't
He needs to come back real quick.
Oh, I see.
Maybe, Admiral, this is all over. We can talk about how you don't have to wear a tie and the rest of us do.
Well, it's kind of like Andy and Barney from Mayberry.
Now, Barn.
Yep.
There he goes in the vent again.
Back in the vent.
That's why the captain only has one bullet, doesn't pull his gun.
I thought my claustrophobia was bad. Being on a sub would be bad, but then you're in the vent in the sub.
Yeah. It's a very high ceiling sub.
Like I said, it's very roomy for a submarine.
It really is.
Control room. The Admiral has escaped.
Oh, there he is.
You must have released him.
Riding on his master's shoulder. I'm sorry, he's the master. Vince is the servant.
You're not minding the store, Professor. Better get on the ball.
Oh,
It had a real Rob Hull and his famous emu feel to it.
all these poor guys had to keep a straight face for this episode, too.
Oh, yeah. What was it like working with Vincent Price? I don't want to talk about it.
I really hope they show the original Vincent Price puppet
You too.
toward the end.
Oh, man.
Because he would have come from that, right?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess the professor's a real person and they replaced him. Yes, I don't know. So, I mean, as you pointed out, Joe, he's like this medicine tent kind of a character. Like, what the hell?
Where'd that come from? If you're looking for me, Captain, you don't stand a chance. Check up ahead.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, they're all being duplicated, not from puppets, but from the original people. Oh, it's still like to see a Vincent Price puppet. That would be the big payoff. Oh, here we go with the vent again.
Laser gun room.
What was that?
Whoa, what's this?
That's the flamethrower.
Looks like a insecticide dispenser.
It's the future.
They just bought it at the hardware store for $5.98.
Raphael wants out. He wants out.
Hang in there, Raphael.
Raphael, it's almost over, I swear. Hang on, let me take a look. Oh, yeah, we've only got 10 more minutes-ish. You can do it, Raphael. You can do it.
Think about it, Raphael. You come so far and just to bail now. You can't do it. You got to hang in there and get the payoff.
Oh my God.
I think a flamethrower in an environment where they're pumping in oxygen will be a very good idea.
Like they really didn't worry about weapons on this show.
You know what that is? It's one of those great big barbecue lighters.
Blow that out.
Hang on.
Ooh. Oh, he's now a puppet.
Oh, he's a puppet now. Oh, poor puppet's burning. See, Raphael, you would have missed that if we quit.
Get him. Get him.
That's how we're going to see Vincent Price. They're going to burn him up, and he'll be like a burning Vincent Price puppet.
I think I only want to do watch parties with closed caption from this point on.
Very stylistic. Bonk.
I'm fighting me.
Boom.
It's your fault we never got to do another Fellini film. No, it's your fault.
Oh, a little somersault over the legs there.
Oh.
Just like the engineering room in Star Trek, you had to have a lot of room to make these fights. Come on, burn more puppets.
I do like the glee with which Joe Townsend is watching puppets get set on fire.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, throw a microwave at him. Nice to see a man fighting his stunt double.
Oh, the right guy got it.
Graceheart, you got a little dribble there on your flamethrower, pal. Flying sub, my favorite character.
Who's been driving the ship?
I own the ship.
Come on, get Vincent Price. I want to see that puppet.
Where's the captain?
There's nothing left of him. One of ours burned too.
So he's disguising himself as a puppet.
Yes, he is. Very ingenious.
We appreciate it, Raphael.
Oh, he's going in the little shuttlecraft.
Yes. I mean, this is the money shot of every episode, is getting the flying sub.
And that was an expensive shot. They have to reuse it.
Yes, exactly.
Guys.
Find the Admiral. Search every corner, every closet.
Control rooms are multiple. The flying sub has left the ship.
Come on.
What?
Flying.
No, you're walking too much like a person. You got to
flying
Yeah,
sub.
As Chris says, you got to walk like you got a hand up your butt.
It's not a submarine if it's flying. The flying sub.
Just call it the floating van.
Well, make the episode perfect, actually, if the flying sub emerged and ran into the flying nun. Oh!
Oh, my.
Man, alien farts.
What indeed? What indeed?
What indeed? Okay, make your move. Lightning bolts in space or in the sea.
These actors are really giving it to us, and I appreciate that.
How come it's rocking less on the inside than the outside?
It's a Doctor Who kind of a thing.
Oh, okay. Like the TARDIS?
Exactly.
Quite
a punch.
The puppet looks like he has Bell's palsy on his mouth.
He's one.
Look at that.
Quite right. Quite right. As far
I guess I'm supposed to see a little sneer, huh? Take that, alien.
Now, imagine watching this on a black and white television, which I did as a kid. So the whole lighting effect of the future thing, like, what is that?
Yeah, well, you've just seen like some little flashes of gray. Come on, Captain. Make your move.
That is not for us.
Raphael is getting impatient. He wants you to wrap it all up.
Pretty, isn't it? Had enough, Admiral? You fight
First, I don't think anybody get tired of seeing this puppet here.
never a chance.
He did need a spin-off of his own.
I can understand having controls, but I don't understand why the flying sub requires you to be on a leash and a collar.
That was kind of his thing.
Whoa.
Your crew will sleep.
I think this was actually a backdoor pilot for a show called Assignment Puppet.
Yeah.
Lovely word that. Forever.
Underwater puppets.
Mankind has nothing to offer. It will sleep too. Yes. Sleep, sleep.
Sleep, sleep.
There's not much future for anyone, is there? None whatever.
Nope.
Realistic Muppet.
Is it?
Puppet's pretty blunt, isn't he?
Lee, this is Nelson.
Nope, no future for you guys.
Can you hear me? This is Nelson.
Admiral Bottom.
What's on the front of his mind?
He's definitely a sub.
Everyone in the submarine is a
Why do you think they call it a sub? Ooh.
I'm in the control room.
An open box NC5.
Have I just been messing around too much laughing? Where did the collar and the leash come from anyway?
It's part of his communication system.
Yeah.
Like for
Oh, it's
pilots.
actually equipment?
Yeah. I mean, it could be a kink. We won't shame either way.
Wait.
I'll tell you what, man, Mr. Spock or Captain Kirk never had that on their face or their neck.
The flying sub will only work if you let it choke you.
Oh, okay, here you go. Here comes the big fake out.
Controls and all ahead flank.
Oh,
What was that effect?
little Gideon effect.
Yeah. Oh, let's rock back and forth.
What have you done? What have you done? You're not my puppet. What have you done?
With the hull and set it at flank speed, we'll blow
Flank speed. Flank speed. They couldn't use warp. It had to be flank speed.
All the things that they make up and they come up with flank speed.
Flank speed.
You can unlock it.
No, they have flank steak. I guess flank speed is a thing.
Oh.
Unlock it.
I'm being pressured into unlocking it.
Man, there's nothing like peer pressure, is there?
We'll use our special peer pressure on you.
You won't see it. Your submarine will hit this craft first. You'll be dead. Gone. And so will I.
Oh, God.
Oh, curses foiled again. There's the countdown.
Time is running out. How do you
Time is running out.
stop this ship? Stop it.
Stop it or I'll hump your neck.
The remote control power switch. Throw the switch, Lee.
I'm kind of surrounded by dudes right now, Admiral.
He's throwing it switchly.
He'll get it.
Ooh. Puppet dog pile, man.
Got the still whole act to go, John?
Pull that switch and reverse this craft.
All right.
All right.
No more puppet beatings, please.
All right.
You know, when Vincent Price gets pissed, that's scary. Look at that.
Oh.
He's an angry, angry man. Professor Multiple.
This thing around his neck.
Yeah, turn that sub, you pig. Turn it. Turn it, you dirty little pig. Now, meanwhile, he's shooting this at like 3 a.m. after everyone else has gone home.
He's coming around.
Just one more take to get it right.
Get him a glass of water.
No.
They're for real.
No.
Oh, some of them got out, huh?
The minute Seaview destroyed our famous Herman.
Wait, wasn't there like a 1 minute countdown, like 10 minutes ago?
What all happened off camera?
Professor.
Maybe
Wait,
it was
yeah,
all
what
the-
happened? How do you get to the switch?
What?
Oh, wait a minute. Is this what I'm waiting for?
So I never took your place, Admiral. Never had my chance.
Oh.
Too bad. Really too bad.
I'll throw this thing in the garbage disposal already. Too bad.
Too bad. Too bad.
Is this like a robot winding down type? Okay. Or get a little whimsical music here. So everything's cool.
Or have sex with them, whatever you want to do. I don't
Yeah.
That would be no trouble at all.
That was the early prototype for the real doll. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make you watch this.
Oh,
I've seen this.
Oh, you have. All right, we don't have to watch it.
Oh dear.
Totally without humor. Can you fancy that?
Can you fancy that?
Oh, I study them all because it keeps you.
We'll save this for another show.
Sure. Don't lose it,
I'm
John.
thinking, Chris, what did you agree to do earlier in this episode? Do you remember, Chris Regan?
Wild Wild West. Sorry, I don't mean to step on it, but
Oh yeah. I'll do a couple of Wild Wild Wests.
Because I think we definitely have to do a Lost in Space, and we'll book you for that one too if you let us.
Sure, absolutely.
How can Lost in Space and Wild Wild West compare to the Deadly Dolls? That's my only issue. It's like,
well, let's talk about it. I mean, I kind of love how the show leans so hard on formula. So, foreign, and in this case, extraterrestrial enemies take over the ship, but they're disguised as something ridiculous and not scary.
Well, they snuck in because the crew really wanted to see a puppet show. It's basically it. They were just victims of their own greed and desire to see a puppet show as a bunch of naval guys.
I mean,
I have to agree with Diana, though. It's like, did they just run out of money for the rest of the episode? I mean, or did John, you didn't cut any part of it out, did you?
No, I wouldn't dare. Are you kidding? No. What kind of talents do you think I have? I'm incapable of editing Irwin Allen. That was the review. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. I do like having a villain that is constantly on people's shoulders humping their ear.
Oh, God, I love that puppet.
That was very strange.
Did they ever have Return of the Deadly Dolls or Deadly Dolls Revenge or anything?
Oh, if only. No, I think it was a season 4. We tried it. It didn't work. And I'm 1,000% with Raphael on this. If it had been Playboy bunnies instead of puppets, I'd be all in.
John, we're going to put your video editing skills to the test. We're going to watch this episode again with Playboy bunnies put in by you.
A couple of years ago, I had a very nice long talk with a guy named Maury Hurley, who was the original showrunner of Star Trek TNG.
Yeah.
And he wrote on Miami Vice and all these other shows. And he had a job. He was hired to run Baywatch Nights, which was picked up for 2 seasons because everyone loved Baywatch.
Yes.
And the first season, it was like Hasselhoff being a detective at night wearing pants and stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody watched it. And the powers that be told Maury, like, look, do whatever you want with the second season. We just got to get it out there, And he decided to turn it into an X-Files thing where every week a Hasselhoff was up against a vampire or a zombie or a werewolf. And he was saying how Hasselhoff would storm in. It's like, I I don't get this. How do I play this? And he was like, play it like you don't get it.
Oh, that's perfect.
He said it wasn't a very harmonious time on this set, but
So
I think
it never occurred to me that Hasselhoff didn't want to do that.
no, that seemed to be like, if you still want to be part of this Baywatch empire, which he had a lot of control over, you need to do Baywatch Nights. So he was kind of a hired hand on Baywatch Nights, and there were other characters around. But yeah, I remember at this party, he was telling me, like, Angie Harmon was great. Angie Harmon was wonderful. If we had an episode that was short, I'd put her in a belly shirt, have her improvise a phone call. So I've never seen Baywatch Nights, but I would like to watch an episode to see A, Hasselhoff not getting it, and B, Angie Harmon improvising a phone call to pad out Act 3.
Chris, they do have them on YouTube, so
are they there? Okay.
Yeah. We actually, I can't remember which episode it was of ours, but we did watch, and we talked all through it, but we did watch an episode of Baywatch Nights.
That was our genre benders episode.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So yes, I would bring it back in a heartbeat. There's a bunch of shows that we've watched that I want to see other episodes of them. Sci-Factor is another one that I love. That's a Canadian ripoff of X-Files.
Okay.
That goes back to our second or third episode. So yeah, that would be a good revisit.
But yeah, Chris, absolutely. Let's get you back for Baywatch Nights.
Sure.
Because Angie Harmon in a belly shirt, frankly, makes everything in my head settle down and just kind of enter a stage of bliss. As opposed,
I can think of only one other show where the same character was spun off, but remained on the parent show at the same time, like David Hasselhoff did in this.
Okay,
and that would be the Hee Haw Honeys. They were on Hee Haw and the Honeys,
and they didn't know how to play it either. Your honeys.
It ain't rocket science, girls.
When you're asking the question, what you're asking is the beginning of a riddle. I need you to stop being so inquisitive and so intellectual. Just set up Misty Rowe, and then she'll say something about her husband's impotency, and then we're good.
Salute.
Someone stands in front of the fence, and it hits them in the butt, and we're good. We just go to the next thing.
There you go, Misty Rowe.
Misty Rowe.
Any chance to work in the Hee Haw Honey stuff? It's 1,000% true. And honestly, there are things that I'm good at covering, and there are things that Joe's good at covering that I really appreciate, and Hee Haw Honeys is part of that.
Well, I mean, go back and look at our Rural Purge episode. There's honeys aplenty.
Mike Sauter joined us for the Rural Purge episode.
Okay.
And that was it. Am I right? It was Mike, right?
I think so.
I think it was. Mike actually Mike has recently expressed interest in I actually have a thing here for it, in Nero Wolfe. So we will be doing in January of 2025, we're going to start one of the things I think in January, Joe, I think it's going to be Nero Wolfe on TV or in movies. We've got some choices there too.
Cool.
But
how do you get across a big fat guy on the radio? Well, I'm having a little trouble fitting into this chair, but anyway, Archie, bring me my case, Archie.
That's exactly true. It's also like a kind of canon with the stories too, that it's like, hey boss, you and I have to go talk to this suspect. No, it's nearly dinner time and Fritz is making me sauerbraten.
Is there an elevator there? If there's an elevator, I will join you.
What I love, and honestly, I love being able to tell you this, is the most available series of Nero Wolfe are in which Sidney Greenstreet plays Nero Wolfe.
Wow.
Oh.
So Mr.
On the radio?
On the radio.
Okay, but at least people knew Sidney Greenstreet, like, oh yeah, he's a big fat guy. Okay,
yes,
I understand.
Yes. Well, and you got to remember, like, popular fiction was very popular in the 30s and 40s. People knew about, they knew about popular, even if they weren't buying the books or the short stories, they knew they existed. So I think there was an image most people had. But yeah, Sidney Greenstreet is amazing. I will eventually play some of his, but I liked the fact that we only had this one episode survive from the Francis X. Bushman series. So that's the first one we'll play. But Sidney Greenstreet's amazing as Nero Wolfe, as you can imagine. Oh, very good. Very good. Of course, I will not be coming with you because I am sitting in my chair.
I'm a guy stuck in my chair. I can't go with you.
TJB remembers, yes, it was solder. Look at the size of that beer mug. I tried my best to get AI to give us some sort of scene. You would not believe the outtakes. There was one where the beer mugs are his hands. I asked for an orchid that he's smelling. He's like, I don't know what that orchid's doing. Yeah.
How creepy.
Oh, speaking of AI, we should probably take a look. Have I shown you this? Did I show you
that
this?
werewolf doing?
Here's what I love. I love the werewolf sees that Joe's books are hanging in stockings and he wants to put his book up.
Get your own website, werewolf.
He's kind of a werepossum.
Yeah. And I don't know if I showed you this one. Did I? Maybe I did. That's Monster Hand. So wait, what's this one? Oh, right. That's anyway, joetownsell.com, 1S, please. joetownsell.com. Go and visit our good friend Joe somewhere on the internet. I got to see the werewolf again. You fiend. This damn werewolf's book.
Your werewolf book. You fiend.
Werewolf himself published too. And
the werewolf become like Yoda. Oh, okay. Or the Hulk.
Which AI did we use for that? It's a new AI, and it's called Hail UO AI. It's in the lower corner there, and it's really good. Joe and I have been making lots of pictures of two girls kissing because the AI will do that.
John.
The AI will do that. It won't do anything else dirty, but it will have people kiss. Honestly, it might have guys kiss. We wouldn't know. We didn't know.
We steered clear of that, but of course, Chris.
Joe. Yes, that would be great. Chris, if you would ever like to buy one of Joe's books, he would be happy to inscribe it for you.
That offer is always something I'm happy to do. We'll figure out how to get it done.
Thank you, Raphael.
Yes, Raphael, always a pleasure, sir. Yes. And just one last reminder, we do have next week, we'll be watching Santa Claus Conquers the Martians as we begin our big holiday long retro holiday, I believe we're calling it.
Starring a young Pia Zadora?
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Hard to tell from this graphic, but that is her.
An itty bitty Pia Zadora. I also love that Dobo, who's like the shat upon Martian. The Martians no one's nice to, and Joe Townsell made himself that Martian.
I did. And John, I probably should have ran it by you, but how can John be anything other than Santa? He's so kind and generous.
It's way too kind of you, sir. All right. Chris Regan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, Chris.
And thank you for letting us book you for 3 more episodes.
Sure.
At least. I think
there's no shortage of stuff to watch.
Oh, absolutely not. And, and any ideas you ever have of what you want to watch, you tell us, Chris.
Rule
whatever you need.
That's going back in the reference archive.
All right. We are just enjoying this too much, so this would be the right time to end the show. Thank you, Chris. Joe Townsell, thank you as always, sir.
Chris, thank you, John. Thank you, sir.
You can find us on the various social media. We are all on Instagram, for example, and under my name, that is my handle at Hello John Weber. And it's always a pleasure. Thank you, kids. And this will do it. Bye now.
Grab your popcorn, warm up your TV. Captain John Commander Joe got something to see. We're all back in time to the golden past with the Retro Rangers. Oh, it's such a blast. We're flying high with the Retro Ranger. Give it a try and don't be a stranger, Ranger. Strap yourself in for a fun-filled flight. Retro Rangers are flying tonight. Retro Rangers, Retro Rangers, Retro Rangers, Retro Rangers, Retro Rangers, Retro